Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Construction complete.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Give him help. I'm afraid.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Our base is under attack.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Preparing. Silos needed. Building. Construction complete. Building.
Awaiting acknowledged.
Silos needed. Building. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete. Building.
Yes, sir.
Construction
Affirmative.
complete.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Yes, sir.
Construction complete.
Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building. Building. Construction complete. Building.
Comrade, acknowledged.
Construction complete.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir.
Insufficient
Acknowledged.
funds. Building. Construction complete. Repairing. Building.
Comrade, acknowledged. Comrade, affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Comrade, acknowledged.
Attack. Unit ready. Building. Construction
Reporting.
complete.
Affirmative.
Repairing.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Repairing. Building. Unit repaired. Repairing.
Yes.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Comrade, acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit repaired.
Awaiting acknowledged.
Construction complete.
Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Insufficient funds. Reinforcements have arrived.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Repairing.
Affirmative.
Waiting order. Acknowledged.
Insufficient funds.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Unit lost. Unit repaired. Repairing.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Waiting order. Reporting. Acknowledged. Comrade, affirmative.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Comrade, acknowledged. Affirmative.
Silos needed.
Acknowledged. Comrade. Affirmative.
Building. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete.
Comrade. Waiting
Prepare.
order. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Unit
Affirmative.
prepared.
Waiting order. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Building.
Yes, sir. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Reporting. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Acknowledge.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Yes,
Reporting.
sir. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Comrade. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Reporting. Awaiting orders.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Unit ready. Building.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Awaiting
Reporting.
orders.
Reporting.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Awaiting orders.
Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Is under
Affirmative.
attack.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Repairing.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Acknowledged. 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 Acknowledged.
Insufficient
Affirmative.
funds.
Affirmative.
Lost.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Comrade. Affirmative.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes,
Vehicle
sir.
reporting. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Reporting. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Waiting
Yes, sir.
order.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Yes, comrade. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Vehicle reporting.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Reporting. Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building.
Comrade.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Insufficient funds.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Waiting order. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Waiting order. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Ready and waiting. Affirmative. Agreed.
Building. Construction complete.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Waiting order. Affirmative.
Select target.
Reporting affirmative,
Insufficient
yes, sir.
funds. Unit lost. Select target. Reinforcements have arrived.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building. Preparing.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reporting.
Insufficient
Affirmative.
funds.
Acknowledged.
Repairing.
Reporting.
Unit
Acknowledged.
repaired.
Reporting
Repairing.
affirmative. Affirmative.
Insufficient funds.
Of course. Ready and waiting.
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Unit lost. Unit lost. Select target. Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
Repairing.
Waiting order.
Unit repaired. Repairing.
Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Affirmative.
Insufficient funds.
Reporting.
Repairing.
Affirmative.
Unit repaired.
Waiting
Insufficient
order.
funds.
Affirmative. Comrade.
Repairing.
Acknowledged.
Insufficient funds.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Comrade. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Repairing. Unit ready. Unit repaired.
Yes, sir.
Repairing.
Affirmative.
Building. Insufficient funds.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Repairing. Select target. Unit repaired. Reinforcements have arrived. Repairing. Insufficient funds.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Insufficient
Acknowledged.
funds.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. At once. At once.
Comrade. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Waiting
order. Perfect. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit prepared.
Affirmative.
Awaiting
Yes, sir.
orders.
Prepared.
Affirmative.
Comrade, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Insufficient funds.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit prepared.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit prepared.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes,
Prepared.
sir.
Acknowledged.
Reporting. Very well. Affirmative.
Insufficient funds.
At once. Affirmative. Very well. Reporting.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir.
Prepared.
Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Construction complete.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit prepared. Preparing.
Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Unit prepared.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Preparing. Unit prepared.
Yes, sir. Awaiting orders. Acknowledge.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Preparing. Building.
Reporting.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit prepared.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir.
Affirmative.
Lost.
Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged.
Unit
Agreed.
lost.
Awaiting
Comrade.
orders.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Insufficient funds.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Reporting.
Building.
Very well. Yes, sir.
Waiting order. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Affirmative.
Unit
Yes, sir.
ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Vehicle reporting.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Very well. Yes, sir.
Yes, affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Yes,
Affirmative. 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 Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Reporting. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Reporting. Very well. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Reporting. Affirmative. Very well. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Waiting order. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Waiting order. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Select target. Silos needed. Silos needed.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Silos needed.
Vehicle
Yes, sir.
reporting.
Acknowledged.
Select target.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Silos needed.
Vehicle report. Affirmative.
Waiting acknowledged.
Silos needed.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Select target.
Yes, sir.
Waiting order. Affirmative.
Silos needed. Silos needed. Silos needed. Building. Silos needed. Construction complete. Cannot deploy here. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Construction complete.
Waiting order. Acknowledged.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Comrade. Affirmative. Reporting. Acknowledged.
Mission accomplished.